I grabbed an old pallet. First step, breaking down the pallet. I start by removing the nails from one end to loosen things up. Then on the opposite side, I run my saw down the edge to free the slats. Once that's done, I carefully pry the boards off. Instead of pulling every nail, I flip the boards over and tap them through with a hammer. It's quicker, and it keeps that rugged, worn character. Next, I grab the thicker support boards and cut them in half. These will be the backbone of the flag that holds everything together. Now it's time to bring in the color and the meaning behind it. I paint each slat individually, alternating red and white. I will start with the red, which stands for valor and bravery. This color actually took one coat. As I finished up the sides, it was looking great. Next was the white color, chosen because it stands for purity and innocence. This color takes a couple of coats, since it just doesn't go on as thick as the red. But once the colors go on, I start to really see it take shape. Once everything's dry, I line up 7 slats and secure them across the 3 boards using my brad nailer. Now I've got a solid panel. Next comes the blue field. I tape off the upper corner and paint in it. This section represents unity, the union of the states, and it's where the stars will go. The blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. After that, I take my sander with the high grit and go over the entire piece. This is where the magic happens. It softens the paint, exposes some of the grain, and gives it that worn, timeless look, like it's been around for generations. Now for the stars. I'll cut out a simple template and paint them across the blue field. They're not perfectly spaced, and that's on purpose, because this isn't factory made, it's handcrafted, just like the early days of this country. And just like that, it's done. From a discarded pallet to a piece that represents history, resilience, and freedom, and in honor of America's 250th anniversary. Now it's up against the house for everyone to see, a reminder of where we've been and what this flag stands for.
This is how I turned an old wooden gate into this simple, patriotic decor. I found this worn out gate and knew it had way more potential than just being tossed. First, I gave it a quick clean. Then I grabbed some red and white ribbon and started weaving it through the slats. For the next row, I switched the pattern so it alternates. And that's what creates those perfect flag stripes. I used hot glue on the back. This keeps everything tight and secure without messing up the front. For the corner, I added a piece of blue fabric, then glued on these pre-cut stars from the craft store. I'm obsessed with how this turned out.
Next time you're at the dollar store, pick up some red, white, and blue acrylic paint. Take a basic drop cloth and make a small cut in one corner parallel to the edging. From that small cut, rip the side edging from the drop cloth. Then measure 15 inches in from the edge and make another small cut. Once again, from that cut, rip clear across the drop cloth so you have one long narrow piece. Fold the upper left corner of one end over onto the fabric and matching the edges to create a triangle. Take a piece of painter's tape and apply it across the bottom of the triangle, the width of the fabric. Take your blue acrylic paint and paint the entire box. I started using a foam brush for this and quickly realized that a small foam roller works much better. Once painted, let the blue box dry completely. Under the painted blue box, take a ruler and make a mark every 3 inches. You should have a row of 4 marks across the 15-inch width. Now, take your painter's tape and run the tape vertically along the edge markings with the tape on the inside of the marks. Make a quick tape adjustment under the blue box by moving the tape that is under the blue box and over the untaped stripe so that the tape is on top of the blue box and the untaped area is completely open. With a small paint roller, paint the uncovered sections with red acrylic paint. Depending on your desired look, you can paint the stripes solid or you can let some of the canvas show through. While the paint is still wet, pull off the painter's tape, being careful to not get wet paint from the tape onto the canvas. Take anything that you have that is in the shape of a star. Mine happened to be a star plate from the dollar store, and center it in the blue box. With a white paint marker, lightly trace around the star. Fill in the star by painting the inside with white acrylic paint. I liked dabbing my paint onto the banner with a foam brush so the blue shows through slightly and there is texture with the white paint. Using 2 paint stir sticks, glue the sticks with any printing so it's on the inside to the front and back of the top of the banner with hot glue. With a drill 2 holes, one on each end of the stir sticks. Thread a piece of jute twine through the holes and tie off with knots to create a hanger. Display your new drop cloth banners inside or outside for fun, patriotic decor. I hope this inspired you to take a simple drop cloth and create your own patriotic flag banners.
Here's how I flipped $2 thrift store sheets into a flapping success. I'm choosing a red toned sheet, then making small cuts along the shorter ends with scissors. Grabbing onto each tab, I'm ripping the entire length until the strips separate from the rest of the sheet. I'm also doing the same to the white sheet. Hanging a vintage wooden hanger with a horizontal bar across the bottom, I'm threading the sheet strips onto the bar, pulling them halfway through, then tying them in place with a knot. I like the look of 3 red rotating with 3 white until I end with red again. An old license plate is being positioned on top of a navy pillowcase, tracing it with chalk to the size I want. I'm also chalking in an additional line along the shorter side. The entire perimeter of the square is being ripped, so I'm left with a frayed rectangle. For the smaller section, I'm cutting slips and ripping them up to the chalk line, leaving my rectangle fully intact. Reaching for a stencil called Twinkle Stars by Funky Junk's Old Sign Stencils, I'm stenciling white stars onto the navy panel in a random pattern. Once filled to my liking, I'm using the small strips as ties to attach the panel to one side of the hanger. For added interest, I'm also tying on some different thicknesses of rope and burlap ribbon where the white strips are located. And the end result is an incredible patriotic scrap fabric flag that really packs a festive punch. I love how the American text on the hanger chimes right in with the old Americana feel. Hang it indoors for a fabulous statement piece or charm your outdoor patio to enjoy the flag flapping in the breeze. Here's how to upcycle a simple closet dowel into an explosively cool project. Using a miter saw, I'm cutting out 3 different sized closet dowel pieces 3 inches apart from each other so they create a nice looking stack when tucked tightly together. I'm drilling holes in all 3 dowels. Each dowel is being painted one tone using red, white, and blue paint. To keep my hands free of paint, I found using a pencil in each dowel hole while painting worked great. For the white dowel, I'm spiraling a strip of painter's tape around the dowel, making sure the tape sticks well in all areas. The gap between the tape is being painted in red, then the tape is being removed before the paint dries. For the blue dowel, I'm stenciling some white stars around the outside until a nice looking random pattern fills the spaces. The red dowel is being left plain. I'm now snipping some small pieces of twine, then hot gluing them inside each dowel hole. All 3 dowels are being tied together using twine. And the end result is the cutest patriotic fireworks display that will really add a punch to a windowsill, shelf, or in the middle of a cake plate to decorate your favorite treats. You'll want to raid your recycle bin for a couple of tin cans for this windfall of an idea. Each can end is being punched with 3 holes using a hammer and a number 10 thick nail. I'm placing a gloved hand inside the tin cans, then coating them with blue paint. Using a red and white sheet, I'm cutting slits, then ripping strips out of the fabric, then hot gluing them along the inner rim of each can until they are covered. Cutting some long lengths of thick string, I'm threading them through the bottom of the can holes, then pulling them out from the inside. Some metal washers are being tied to the inside pulled strings, then are being pulled back out from the outside until the washers stop them inside the cans. The top strings are being knotted together so this can be hung up. And my super festive matching windsocks are a flying success. When hung outdoors, the wind gives them such eye-catching movement as if dancing to the greatest tunes. You can even tie them together for more impact. Then team up the windsocks along with a scrap fabric flag and fireworks, and you'll have all you need for your patriotic party. I hope this inspires you to upcycle a few simple things to create your own super unique and affordable 4th of July decor. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and we'll catch you next time.